some background information, sort of a little bit here and there, primarily at the end of the character creation sessions. So I suppose I'll just refresh that for everyone. The primary place that you will be starting your not going to call it an adventure because it's not so much an adventure as it is like where you first start off and meet everyone else. You all meet each other in a Hive City, located on the moon Taruta, which is a moon of the primary planet Achov in the Achov system. And this Achov system is located in an area of space that is more commonly known throughout the Imperium as the Segmentum Ultima. It is located to the galactic north of the Tau Empire, and it's located, which, you know, it's still to the galactic north of the, just to put in perspective, the region of the sector of Ultramar and the Ultramarine homeworlds. Now, the issue with the Achov system is that even in the Imperium itself, it's a bit of an out-of-the-way system. Of this entire star system, of which there is only one primary star, the only livable planets is Achov, as all other celestial bodies that you would expect to be in a regular star system. So any other planets of any description, whether they're rocky or whether they're more gas giants, simply they don't exist. The Achov system has quite a number of asteroid clusters scattered throughout the whole system itself, particularly in the outer reaches of the system. The planet Achov and its moon are actually located in the inner reaches of the star system. As a result of that, both of these planets are unbearably hot to live on without some form of assisted environment, which is why the Hive City that you have all met in, which is known as Hive Nader, is the only hive that is currently functioning on the planet's surface. This entire the Hive Nader is located on the moon's surface of Taruta, and this is the only hive that's actually been set up on the moon itself as a result, simply because the environment is simply that hostile. In addition to the the unbearable heat that just emanates from the sun, or from the star of this system, they also have to deal with the fact that the atmosphere, or what little there is for both the planet Achov and the moon Taruta, the atmosphere is fairly toxic, as in you can't walk outside without a rebreather and expect to live more than 10 minutes. The only creatures that can breathe that atmosphere are the native creatures, which for the most part are relatively, in terms of comparisons to other sort of similar organisms and bioorganisms, they don't really, they're fairly scrawny and rather weak in comparison. Everything on this planet just has not adapted well to the environment, so because it's basically living in a hot bath where eventually you get rained on with toxic acid. So we already have a bit of a background in terms of your characters already. So we have Techie, who is the Adeptus Mechanicus Techpriest, who goes by the name of Duralius. We have Shazla Mitsu, which is Faction, who is the Tower Fire Warrior. And I can't recall your name, Ruben, I apologize, but we do have Ruben, who is another Tower Fire Warrior.
Tashta. So it's
That's right.
Shasui Violos Tashta.
That's right. Can't remember where I put that. My apologies. In any case, all three of you arrive on Taruta from space. So we have, in terms of the two Tower Fire Warriors, you both arrived on Taruta from by ship coming from the Tau Enclaves area, or the Tau Empire area. I know in particular, uh, Ruben, your character actually originates from the Farside Enclaves. So, just in terms of a bit of perspective, in terms of what your characters basically know of this system, for basically for the Guelar, or the humans as the Tau refer to, or as the Tau know them as, uh, this planet, this settlement is actually rather hospitable and rather pleasant to be around. In fact, there are lines of trade extending from Taruta to both the Farside Enclaves and the Tau Empire itself. And for the most part, the humans of Taruta and Hive Nada are fairly pleasant to deal with and aren't particularly xenophobic in comparison to the rest of the Imperium, which on a scale of 1 to 10, whereas the rest of the Imperium is likely to shoot you on sight, Nada will put up with your presence to an extent. Now, in terms of what there are in fact other Tau who do sort of come here and trade with the of the settlement in the Hive City of Taruta, but for the most part, these are the trading caste and also the piloting caste. So these are primarily air caste and water caste Tau. So the fact that there are two fire warriors who have come to Taruta is rather unusual, as you are far more heavily armored and armed than any other Tau that generally resides here. Of course, it's not unheard of for Tau Fire Warriors to be on Taruta escorting sort of entourages of traders, but for two Fire Warriors by themselves, it's unusual. And Techie, as Duralius was basically picked up in the depths of space from a space hulk, you've arrived on Taruta, and from what you were able to gather from your journey through the void on board this vessel that was actually brave enough to get in contact with a derelict space hulk, you know that the numbers of Mechanicus on this Hive City are rather low in terms of how they actually function. So while Hive City can be anywhere from several million people to a billion, this Hive City in particular only really has about a population of 10 million, of which the Mechanicus is less than 1,000th of that. And aside from that, though, the traders that you've spoken to thus far aren't really able to sort of give you like any further details in terms of like your brethren in the Mechanicus, because they don't really deal with them on a common basis. But yeah, they pretty much just drop you off, as you know they're not really willing to put up with you any much further.
My ranting annoyed them, I guess.
A little bit. You were also basically, it's the equivalent of picking up someone who's been stranded at sea for several years, if not more. So they're not only going to be a little bit loopy, they're just kind of unsettling.
Mm. Yeah, I don't exactly blame them for dropping me out here.
Now, in terms of our three Eldar characters, I did give you guys a little bit of a background previously, but in terms of how you guys got here, you were basically involved in a skirmish with Dark Eldar forces in the Webway, and as the battle raged back and forth with obviously Karnath, Freeze's character, laying down heavy rocket barrages from his Dark Reaper missile launcher, and as Vaithral basically each time he went into combat, he just carved up with his chainsaw and then shot people. While I suppose Amarak, you were mostly in a sort of a supporting sort of precognition role in terms of you were preventing ambushes and things like that. And as the battle raged in the webway, it's the sheer firepower that was being unleashed kind of was so cascading and so devastating that it actually caused a bit of a ripple in that localized section of the webway. And the webway itself basically had what the equivalent term in engineering or architecture would be a stress fracture. Unfortunately, as part of that stress fracture, it did kind of collapse parts of the webway passages, and it forced you three down a side passage of the webway, and you were cut off from the rest of the Eldar strike force. Fortunately, as you followed the passage down, the passage of the webway, you were able to come across a webway gate that led back to real space. Unfortunately for you, that webway gate led out into a fairly desolate environment, and the moment you stepped out, for those of you who are wearing aspect armor, so unfortunately not you, Rise, but the other two definitely get they get the sensors going, and they get sensors going that their rebreathers inbuilt into their aspect armors is just beginning to clog up with toxic gas. As part of that, Rise, even though you are only a seer, you did have a rebreather as well, and you are thanking your ancestors that you do, otherwise you'd be in quite a bad state. Fortunately, the webway gate that you exited from was shielded from view, and shielded in a very sort of crevasse of a part of a canyon. And as you sort of scaled out of the canyon, you reached a sort of rise in the landscape. You looked down into what seemed to be a fairly sizable impact crater, and you saw a fairly moderately sized human settlement of which is the Hive City. Considering your location and your exclusion from the rest of your brethren, you figure that the best option for you was basically to head down to this Hive City and seek entrance. Now, in terms of this Hive City, the thing is that the environment is so desolate, and it's not even probably the best comparison that one could make is that this world is not a death world in terms of everything's out to kill you. It's more of a dead world than anything else, and that aside from this one settlement, aside from some very scattered pockets of whatever hellish organism tried to live on this moon, there is nothing else out here. So you are actually able to basically walk up to the main exit gate of this Hive City and basically rap on the door. And while it was incredibly unusual for the gate guards to actually hear a knock on the door, they did in fact let you in despite your clearly Xenos appearance. That you aren't the weirdest thing that they've seen all day.
Fair
Now,
enough.
as you've all kind of as the Eldar, you've kind of gone in and sort of recovered from the fact you've walked across a fairly hot, steaming, poisonous landscape. You sort of make your way to the nearest what you believe to be a respite station. And in terms of the Tower Warriors and the Techpriest, you're kind of here as well, and you kind of, as you sort of come into the spaceport and the docks and etc., and you disembark, you're directed to sort of like the main stop point for recent arrivals to the planet, which is this lovely little, I suppose you'd call it an ale house or a tavern, but it goes by the unfortunate or fortunate, depending on your origins, name of the Choke and Puke.
Good business.
So, yes, it's good business. And basically, you all arrive in drips and drabs. The Eldar basically sticking together, but actually, I would like to see to Faction and Ruben. Are you guys, even though you're both fire warriors, are you aware of each other's presence, or were you on the same ship, basically coming into Taruto?
I'm gonna go with no, we weren't on the same ship. I'd like
Yeah.
to think that I'm aware of him.
Yeah, I'd go with that, given I don't see the Farside Enclave working with Tau from the main faction anyways.
So you kind of both got directions to this tavern. So I'm going to say that odds or evens. Who wants to pick?
Odds.
Yep, you're going first. So you arrive at the Chokin Pook first, and funnily enough, as you get in there, you didn't really get as much information. Like, you were just told, hey, this is a good place if you want to like sort of mesh with the locals and things like that, and you want to like get an appreciation for what kind of planet this is, and what kind of settlement this is. And as you walk in, could I please get an awareness check from you?
Yep. How do I do that?
You've got your character sheet there, don't you?
Yep.
Yep. Roll 1d100 and try and aim under your perception characteristic.
Right. So my perception's 44.
Yeah. There is actually, if you have the opportunity to do it either after today, after this session, there's actually a character sheet embedded into Roll20, which
Yeah, I tried to find it soon after work, but I was just having trouble getting my head around Roll20, and I said, let me try and complete what I've got before I start messing around with Roll20. So I spent the evening just reading up on my skills and stuff again so I could get my head around the information.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Also, he failed the roll miserably.
Yep.
He got an 87.
Just horribly.
So that's 4 degrees of failure. But
Oh, God.
I suppose
I'm practically blind here, aren't I?
not so much. It's just to sort of refresh the way the system works is that there is such a thing as success or failure, but there is this other thing called degrees of success or degrees of failure. So for every 10 beneath or above your target score, so say for instance with your 44, if you rolled a 54, that would be 1 degree of failure. But if you rolled somewhere between 44 and 54, it's just a failure. Obviously, bad things may happen if you accrue too many degrees of failure. Good things may happen if you accrue a few degrees of success. Now, unfortunately for you, Ruben, could I get a dodge check, please?
Serious?
Best
So that's-
intro ever.
I'm guessing that's half
Tape
agility.
ready.
Unless he's got...
Are you trained in dodge?
Yeah, I'm trained in dodge. Why am I going first again?
It's just you picked evens.
Oh, god damn it.
So you picked odds, I should say.
Come on.
You're about to walk into the sign because
Are
you're so
you
blind.
serious?
Oh,
Oh, no,
you
wait,
didn't
didn't
roll.
roll.
No, you didn't roll D100. You just rolled
D100.
yeah. I was
Thank
about
God.
to say, holy crap.
Oh, god. I have...
You're good.
12. 12.
Yeah, I've
much
got
better.
42
Good.
agility.
So, as you sort of walked into the Choke and Puke tavern, you're try and sort of adjust, even with like your helmet on, you're just like, damn, this place is like dank, it's murky, it's just dark. And then sort of like your warrior training kicks in, and it's just like, oh crap, you ducked. You ducked as basically what amounted to a short green man flew through the air over your head. And basically, as you walked in, you dodged that flying little green man, and there is basically a minor bar brawl going on in the left-hand corner of the bar, but at the same time, everyone else isn't really paying attention to it.
I bet the Eldar started it.
No, yeah, it's pretty clearly obvious that it's not Eldar. It is in fact there are orcs here, and you just dodged a Gretchen.
Oh god. Great. Clearly these are the more friendly humans we're going to come across. Letting
I mean,
orcs in Hive City.
did it.
I suppose the question is, what do you want to do, considering you just dodged a Gretchen?
Ah, shit.
I think I'll ignore them and take a seat in the corner in the shadows.
As you go to do that, like you go to sit down in the booth, and then it's just like you hear something, and someone's just like, "Oi, get lost! This is our spot. Go away. We'll shank you."
Seriously? Okay. I ignore them.
Will he survive this encounter? Will we re-roll a new character in under an hour? We'll find out.
This always works out, guys. Trust me.
Hey, you're the character.
However, I reach for my pistol.
So
Slowly.
basically, as
Very slowly.
as
With
you
my,
sort of
can I do a concealment check to reach for my pistol?
you may roll a concealment check to reach for your pistol.
Okay. Roll D100.
What is your agility score?
Oh shit! 90.
Oh wow!
Someone is.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Drop
God.
it.
Reminding myself that high is bad.
Oh,
drop- You
So
drop your
as
pistol.
he's
You drop your
reaching
pistol.
for his pistol, he's yelling out, "Guys, I'm going for my pistol!"
Not quite.
Who am I talking
Basically,
to?
the issue basically that arose is that you tried to draw your pistol in a fairly dark environment. Obviously, they had potentially a chance to see you. The thing is, they didn't notice whoever they are. You do, like, as sort of like you hear them sort of say, we're gonna shank you. You do spot like a very gnarled, knobbly head sort of poke up from the other side of the table, and is just like brandishing a very, very rusty, crude-looking knife at you, and it's just like, go on, get, this is our spot. The thing is, because he's now standing on the seat, basically to look at you, he doesn't see you still draw your pistol from underneath the table.
Yeah, I'm trying to see a theme here. What the fuck? Where's my Chewbacca? Okay.
Faction bursts down the door and screams out.
Can I tell how many of these guys are surrounding me?
Aside from the one that was now standing up and brandishing the knife across the table from you, you don't know exactly how many potentially are under the table. It's not a particularly large table, but these are particularly short things.
Ugh. Fuck. Alright, I moved to another table.
It is at about this time that Faction, your character, Shaz Ui, if I'm pronouncing that. Shaz's last, sorry, my mistake, Mitsu. You rock up to the bar. You rock up to the exterior of the tavern, I should say.
Ooh. Does he have to dodge aggression?
Hurling Gretchen everywhere.
It's part of the welcoming party. It's a whole hurling Gretchens at you.
What would you like to do, Mitsu?
I suppose I'll wander in.
Okay, can you please do an awareness check?
Oh,
Sure. Alright. I can use my awareness skill for this too, right?
Yep, so it should just be on your character sheet, just click the awareness skill button and it should roll for you.
Okie dokie.
Oh.
Wow, you're as bad as me.
Unfortunate. So it's a sort of a similar situation. You're like, it's so dank and murky, and like everything's going on, and could I please get a carouse check?
What's that, a toughness test?
Yes.
Yes.
Or there should be on your character sheet. You should have the carouse skill as an option.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, this
Good
has
one.
failed.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
Minus 6.3
Seriously, there's
degrees.
something wrong with Roll20, guys. It's
Yeah.
not
No.
reverse rolling.
No. So
No, if he hasn't got a train, it'd be pretty low.
yeah, he's
Roll.
rolling at he's rolling at half of his toughness score.
Yeah,
Oh, shit. Yeah, that would be hard to get.
because we aren't trained in carouse.
All right then. So basically, as you walk in, like people basically try and everyone's like, so you see the brawl happening off in the left-hand corner, people having a good time, and then someone basically staggers up to you and tries to pour what looks to be some foul-swilling, nasty liquor into you, considering your helmet has been taken off. I'm presuming you have taken your helmet off.
I'd like to say no, because I don't want to ever take my helmet off.
I was going by your character portrait, but if you're saying that you haven't taken your helmet off, then basically he tries to pour water down to what he thinks is your pour the liquid down what he thinks is your mouth. Except that's more likely it's going to make you very, very uncomfortable, as it's going to sort of get in between your joints and you're going to start squelching.
Son of a bitch. Am I able to attempt to dodge or anything along those lines?
You may, if you want.
Hmm.
Do it.
Comes another fail.
That could happen.
Oh, whoa, he actually
Oh wow.
Wow, barely.
barely.
You basically this guy kind of like staggers up some very rickety-looking iron stairs, and then he's just like, he goes to sort of pour it on you, and then you're just like sidestep, but then unfortunately, as you sort of sidestep, he catches the edge of your foot, and he just face plants on the ground.
Take that.
And then the bar erupts in cheers, just like, hey!
Woohoo! I was getting ready to throw a grenade too.
Oh god. I can safely say that if we were walking over to this place and it exploded, I would probably be in stitches.
They're just photon grenades. They're like
they're
flash
just
grenades.
Oh, okay.
It would just be a total wreckage by the time we arrive. Just be like, there was a tavern here, right?
Should start killing everyone though.
So I suppose, what do you want to do now?
Should buy everyone
Um,
around.
No, I suppose I'll just wander back outside and wait outside.
Okay.
Just wait for company. Be boring.
You may perform an awareness check.
Sorry? Awareness
You may
check?
perform.
Have you learned nothing?
I don't care. Haha!
Swish.
What?
Nice. 2.6 degrees of success.
Right. So, in terms of what you can see, as you sort of like step back out onto the street, you sort of take stock of your surroundings, and from what you had heard of this place, it certainly they painted it as like a human world that was more lenient, but they didn't quite capture the essence of how lenient this was. So, in addition to not only the fact that there's humans of all sorts, there's people with various sort of cybernetic limbs and attachments and things like that. You do spot like clear packs of greenskins and orcs and Gretchen just roaming the streets freely without, you see them pass by what you believe to be the human equivalent of a guardsman or a police officer or something like that, and they just let them pass. At the same time, you also spot things you probably wouldn't expect to see in a human settlement. So there is actually there is a little stand or stall off to your right, and there are actually some Kroot that are bartering with what look to be a human who sort of like, they're doing sort of the exchange, they're yabbering and gibbering and speaking, trying to come to an arrangement of sorts, and it's just like, this is weird. Like, this is just unusual. And then you spot 3 immaculately armored people walking down the street towards you, and it's just like, what the hell? Like, compared to everyone else who was just like grimy, like, even if this was their Sunday best, it pales in comparison to these 3. So you basically spot what you believe to just be some nobility gracing the slums of this hive, when in actual fact these are the 3 Eldar walking down the street towards you. Everyone is giving them a very, very wide berth in terms of like, they recognize that they're different, but they're still like different good or different bad. Now, Rise, Freeze, and Knob. I suppose the question is, how are you presenting yourselves as you walk through the streets of this hive?
Aloof.
I don't know how aloof you can be with a missile launcher.
Does he have to roll for it?
No, he can basically walk down the street keeping to himself, but the simple fact is he's got a big fuck-off gun on his back, and people are very, very wide-eyed when they see it, because, like, some of the orcs are just like, oh, yeah, yeah. But, none of them are stupid enough to walk up to you and try and take it from you.
We're taking you out, man.
They seem to like your gun.
So that's how far the wolf whistle has evolved all these years.
To be fair, they're orcs, they wouldn't know what a wolf whistle is.
It's an orc whistle.
Nob, how are you portraying yourself considering you're sort of lighter coloured than everyone else?
I don't know. Just not overly cautiously, but kind of, taking in the surroundings sort of thing.
Yeah, so like as everyone is sort of like they're wary of you, but no one's making a move to try and attack you or rush you or anything. Like there are more than a few raised eyebrows or raised cybernetic eyebrows, including what looks to be someone who has lost all function in his face and gets a slave to do it for him. But everyone's kind of, they're all wary of you, and the fact that Rise, your character, basically is walking down the street without a proper helmet on. You have your rebreather on from when you were walking in the wasteland, but at the same time, you're clearly distinctive with the fact that you've got pointed ears.
Damn right, I love my pointed ears. In terms of the way I'm kind of wandering down this street, I kind of as normal, matching pace with the other 2, but I just look incredibly pissed off.
Well, that's the thing. It would be hard for the other two to look pissed off because they've currently got helmets on.
Yeah.
So you're kind of to what does your pissed off look like? Does it look like pissed off? I'm angry and I want to kill something. Pissed off. Man, this is shit. Why? How did my life turn out so bad?
Or is it more of a constipated pissed off?
I think it'd mostly be a case of everything in that battle went to shit and we've ended up on some backwater dump. So I'm pissed off at the general state of affairs.
Fair.
Now, as you sort of approach the choke and puke, you do spot someone who's clearly heavily armed and armored in comparison to the surroundings. And yeah, I suppose, does anyone have an applicable knowledge they could use, or law that they could use in this situation?
What would be applicable?
Just list out what laws you know, and I can tell you if you'd be able to use them.
Common law war and common law Eldar. That's it.
Not really. You know the fact that there's orcs here, but the feathered sort of avian creatures, you're not quite certain what they are, and this one here looks distinctly odd. Like his bright yellow armor is very out of place, similar to your brightly colored armor, but you're not sure exactly what it is. It could be just a human wearing armor. You can't tell.
The other thing I have that probably isn't relevant is scholastic law cryptology. Did he come from a crypt?
Definitely not. So, what would you three like to do?
You should go indoors.
Well, the first thing
Then we
to
go piss off the guy in heavy armor. So I'm just going to ignore him.
And by all means, entertain me.
I would assume that we don't actually know where we are.
So you have basically no idea in terms of what sector of the galaxy you're in, whereabouts you are in relation to other planets. The simple fact is, when you first arrived on Taruta, the I suppose you called the webway gate was basically the equivalent of basically it's just trying to think of the correct way to describe it. It looked as though it hadn't been used in, several millennia, if even longer than that. You couldn't put a date on it, but it looked like no one had come this way for the simple fact that it seemed to have been forgotten about or unused on purpose.
Well, yeah, we should probably find some weak-minded fool to actually tell us where we are. I'm pretty sure this place has them in abundance, so we might as well go in.
Yeah, you were referred to this particular place in terms of, you spoke to the guards and they're just like, if you want to know stuff, there's plenty of people to choke and puke. I mean, they have decent food.
Yeah, with that name, they probably do.
Is that what they choke on, or is that what they puke?
Both, it's recycled.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Guys, I reckon we should just kill everyone at this place before we leave this planet.
I think we should kill everyone on the planet.
What would you like to do first? Exterminatus sounds good.
I thought I was the one with the insanity points here. What the fuck?
Wait, which one of you
No,
guys
see.
can summon Slaanesh?
See, racism is an insanity.
Not in 40k, no.
Racism and genocide is just another day. So, what is the marching order in terms of you three moving into this tavern?
I'd say I'm just sort of, because I'm just sort of striding through, just sort of, no one else is around me. I'm sort of just heading straight in, like
Right.
ignoring everyone else. That's what I meant by aloof. Just
So, yeah, you're going in first. Make an awareness check, please.
Gee, I wonder if they saw this coming.
I was tempted to go first. With my stats, I should be okay, but then I knew I'd roll like shit.
Look at us, 2.5.
So you basically walk in, and as you sort of step over the threshold, you actually feel the sort of the chatter in the bar. Oh, sorry,
just quickly, the heightened senses, is that meant to add to that, or?
That's a talent. Let me check.
Sight, hearing, and smell plus 10. I assume that would be on awareness.
Heightened senses.
Even then, that wouldn't have put it into a success.
No.
Would have lessened the degree of.
They would have lessened the degrees to 1.5, but it would still be a fail.
What do you receive heightened senses from? Is that a piece of equipment?
It's Eldar.
Eldar, yeah.
Yeah, we get.
Right.
What do we get? Yeah, just keen senses. It's a trade.
Double check.
Talent.
Interesting start to our journey.
Yeah,
guys.
you get sight and hearing, so even then, unfortunately, you didn't sort of notice anything of import, but basically as the moment you step over the threshold of the bar, like, everything kind of gets quieter, the chatter sort of dies down a little, the brawl is still going on to your left, because that will never stop, but everything, like, people glance at you and it's just like, oh, shit, who the hell are you? Everyone's kind of looking at you now. Well, everyone bar the orcs.
Way to be aloof.
Find some cover.
Right.
I'll turn a table and hide behind it.
I turn to the nearest orc and demand to know where we are.
Oh god, why would you ask the
I
dog?
know. Can I take cover at this point?
No, basically the orc turns to you. He's still like holding a Gretchen by the throat, and he's just like, "What do you want? I mean, who the fuck are you?"
I ask him if I stuttered.
I really want to take cover right now.
He looms up to his full height, and he's just like, "You're pretty scrawny to me. What do you want?"
Fucking orcs.
Oh,
Please tell me that was a character.
haha.
Do a dodge check, please.
Why freeze? Why?
Oh god.
Matchless Grace, does that add anything there?
Matchless Grace.
That gives unnatural agility times 2.
Unnatural agility does not help with dodging. It does help when you get degrees of success on a dodge, but not the base roll.
Not like you needed to.
By 3.2.
So basically, you have the common sense after making that jibe to duck, and what you first perceive to be like, oh yeah, he's going to try and swing out at me. He tries to swing at you with the hand holding the Gretchen. So basically, he's using the Gretchen's head as a bit of a club.
I love how the Gretchens are used in this bar.
You should knock him out, Priest.
So he's just like, quit dodging. We're in the middle of something. Piss off.
While this is happening, I think I might wander in too.
Yeah.
This is like the greatest extended joke ever.
Oh my god.
A whole bunch of characters walk into a bar, roll awareness.
So who's walking in first?
This is not grimdark, guys.
I'll walk in first.
Alright.
So roll awareness, whoever's walking in first.
Do I get a bonus 10 from it? Because of
Yes, you do.
this is-
Oh, flat 3. Nice.
Nice.
3 degrees of success, nice.
Okay, so you clearly see the fact that Karnath has kind of antagonized an orc.
Kind of.
But you do notice everyone's kind of like paying attention with sort of like, they're just like, everyone's kind of got their drinks that they're ready and they're just like, oh, come on, do it, kill him. But then you see some people who's just like, I've got 50, oh, what are we betting here? 50 crowns on the, 50 gelt on the newcomer. He's going to take him. But you do also spot, like, you saw the armored guy at the front, and then you see another armored guy closer towards the bar. And it's just like, there's 2 of them in close proximity.
As far as the people that let us in, I assume I can tell that they're not the same looking people as far as their armor goes.
Oh, there's different colors, the different color schemes on their armor, but the simple fact is that the armor, aside from the color, is basically exactly the same.
Well, they're not guards. I think I'd be able to tell that. But I'm still going to try and advise Freeze to not start a fight in a world we have no idea where we are.
Do a fellowship check.
Oh god, I'm so slow.
Do you want to do a fellowship check, or did you want to try and convince him outside of rolling?
The hell is fellowship?
It's one of your
How will you
skills.
do
The
it?
last one.
Alright, the last skill.
Not skill characteristic, sorry.
Ah, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take Nob's advice and tell the orc it's his lucky day and step back.
Dodge check.
Oh, doesn't even let us get out of a fight.
Who has to do the dodge check?
Out of curiosity, have I actually made it inside yet?
You're kind of being the entryway is
Nah!
fairly large.
he gets hit.
Your luck had to run out.
2 degrees.
The good news is you didn't get hit, as the Gretchen flies over your head.
Crap.
Just like, yeah, you better walk away.
Oh, that poor Gretchen.
It's at this time that all 3 of you have now entered the bar, and you're just there. It's at this time we finally get to the Techpriest, who's been referred to this particular locale of being of some help for off-worlders.
Yeah, so I would be on my way there, just wandering through. Just if I see any junk lying around, I'd be looking over it closely a little bit before I move on.
Question: do you have? I can't recall, but do you have any major Mechanicus implants aside from the standard ones, or like do you have a servo arm or something?
I got the servitor bot. So I got the so I got the servo skull with me.
That's
So it's
right.
pretty much just hovering around me.
Yeah, so people are like the general people that you're with are watching, like the street people are watching you a little bit closely. They're just like, oh, okay, yeah, he's just doing like repairs or inspections or some shit. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, in terms of scraps, like you go to pick something up and then someone just snatches it away. It's just like, wait, that's mine. Get lost.
Oh no! I'm just examining it. So I'm not planning on taking it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Look with your eyes, not with your mechano hands.
Oh yes. Didn't mean to intrude. I'll be on my way.
So as you
And
sort of
just-
approach,
yeah, just keep
yeah, as you sort of approach towards the bar itself, you do spot the heavily armored man, well, what you believe to be a human man, out the front. Do you have any applicable law that might be useful in this situation?
I've got common law tech, common law Adeptus Mechanicus, and 2 forbidden law, which is Archaeotech and Adeptus Mechanicus as well.
You may attempt a common law tech in this situation to identify sort of the origin of the armor.
Cool, I can do that. Oh god, I rolled so bad because that's like it's more than a 50-50 chance of success. It's ridiculous.
So he's gonna walk up to him and call him an orc or something.
Actually, hang on.
Fellow human and hug him.
I think I rolled a 98 on that. That's right. Oh, 96. I rolled a 96. Crimes.
So it's not
Nice one, Tech.
too bad, but you're just like,
You are some kind of soldier.
you say that to Mitsu.
Yes. Yeah, I would just look up to him with a bit of a grin and just say, "It's a very very fascinating armor you have right there, sir."
Okay.
This is where you reach for your pistol, Mitsu.
Slowly reach for his pistol.
Actually, what I'd like to do
Oh god.
is one second.
Oh fuck! What did he do?
What are you
I'd
doing?
like to grab one of my photon grenades out.
Oh god.
Okay, concealment if you want to do that without.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it subtly. I just want to take it out and throw it inside.
Okay, just so you know, I'm wearing a black sun filter, so I can't be blinded by photon grenades.
That's right.
Actually, I'm right next to the door, so I could probably get out of there. Go for it!
Everyone's running out of the bar.
So, you pull it out, and you see, like, you know, you're just pulling it out, you're preparing to throw it in, and, you know, just someone points in, it's just like, he's got a grenade! Get him!
Right.
Oh, God.
You have an opportunity to do something. What would you like to do?
At this point, can I notice that this is a tower being attacked?
You're inside. I don't think you'd notice this happening.
Yeah, you're the angle, like the simple dankness and darkness of the interior of the bar is kind of obscuring your vision. Also, the fact that there's kind of still a cluster of Eldar around the front door.
Fucking Eldar.
You don't
I'll
know
put it
me.
back on my belt.
Can I do an
Without the
awareness?
appropriate law.
You may perform an awareness check. If you roll exceptionally well, you might be able to see what's happening. As the
Fail, you go
Eldar,
blind permanently.
the Eldar, you may roll as well.
What is it? Awareness.
Awareness.
My awareness is
Hooray!
I've got 44 perception, so...
Oh my.
Are you trained in awareness?
Oh no, wait, let me check. Yes, I am. It's one of the basic,
Ow. Things.
yeah, tower things.
So, unfortunately, the simple fact is it's pretty tricky to try and see exactly what's happening going on outside. So we just do the hubbub and the sort of the smoke in the air of the tavern itself. Unfortunately, Rise, your character, even though you're probably closest to the door, you can't actually. You're kind of a bit distracted just from the everything else that's going on inside.
Looking the wrong way. Give me some dignity.
Vaithril and Karnath, you do spot the fact that the armored guy that you saw walk in appears to be holding a grenade and looks like he's about to throw it inside.
I think I'm going to exit the bar very quickly.
I'm actually going to draw my las gun on him after he pulled the grenade out.
So much for that party.
So,
I'm not going to fire, just pulling the gun out.
I suppose you have the sort of initiative at this stage, Mitsu. What are you doing? People have spotted you. Some people have called out, he's got a grenade. People have seen you with the grenade. What would you like to do?
Well, logically, there's only one thing to do. I'll be fine if I drop it or throw it. I suppose I'll put it away.
Have you learned nothing? You can't just back out of a fight.
Oh no, I'm gonna put it away, but I'd like to, get rank 1 Fire Warrior Advance. Means you get it.
He's purchased it, I believe. That's what Ruben's saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's saying he had it at tier 2.
Yeah.
which is trained. Because I think you told me, Blake, that everything starts off at basic with a disability, and then trained brings it up to the full characteristic.
Yeah, it's the whole basic advanced distinction between skills. So, trained means you do it at your full characteristic score rather than half.
Yeah.
So, Mitsu, as you go to sort of put away the grenade, could I please get a dodge check?
Sure.
Just in the coming room.
Incoming Gretchen.
So, that's my agility plus dodge is plus 10, right?
Is your dodge at plus 10? Or
It
is your
should
dodge
be.
just base?
It's
It is a starting skill for us.
it's trained, yeah. Dodge is trained,
Yeah.
so you get your full characteristic.
Yeah, so it's not plus 10, it's just base.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, just made it.
Ooh.
0.1.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, as you go to put it away, you're just like, it's kind of almost similar to like that sort of danger sense that, some warriors develop, and simply the fact is, you should probably get out of the way. You do. Which is fortunate, as something flies at you. You're like, you duck instinctively, and then you're just like, oh, that didn't hit me, whatever the hell that was. You glance up to see what missed you. How tall are you?
Blank.
Okay, you're about 1.8 meters or thereabouts, so.
Sure.
So, in terms of that, you spot an axe probably half the size of you embedded on the wall just above where you were standing.
Oh shit.
Nice dodge, man.
Sweet. Who
Probably,
wants a
yeah,
chopper?
good you dodged that.
That could have hurt. Yeah.
I'd say
There
this is
is
where you
There is a crowd sort of gathering now, as you know, there are a few people bellowing. There's a few orcs bellowing. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And there's just everyone's sort of clustered around. Everyone's sort of like eagerly watching, and Duralius, do a awareness test if you have it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, perception.
Yeah, I got awareness. Oh, damn it.
Oh,
I
man.
rolled too high.
It's pretty easy to spot though. So you have seen the fact that as the crowd has gathered, so have a bunch of other servo skulls, and it's simply the fact is, as you see them sort of hovering around, you're just like, servo skulls, servo skulls. Oh right, that's what servo skulls do. I suppose the question now is, you're currently surrounded by a bit of an angry mob.
Yeah, by this point I've actually put my lattice gun back down again. Even though he has put the grenade away.
It's all because you asked him about his armor. Seriously, Tech.
That's it.
Oh,
Nobody
my
asked me
fault.
about my armor.
I was trying to be friendly. The guy just pulled out a fucking grenade. What was I supposed to expect on that?
It's just a flashbang. Doesn't hurt anyone.
Just a simple leave me alone would be enough. Christ.
Now,
Can I make my way towards the commotion?
you may. Yep, sort of everyone in the bar is kind of like... yeah, everyone from the bar is kind of sort of getting up from their seats and things like that. But, yeah.
I kind of moved out of the room when I saw him get the grenade out.
Did you flip a table over and get cover?
No, the
thinking,
crowd's not in the room because I was outside. So it's
If you
people
want
outside,
to-
right?
If you want to do anything in particular without being noticed, it's a concealment check. But anything exceptional or unusual will be pretty darn difficult.
So, have we, at this point, do we have like a giant crowd staring at faction outside and a giant crowd staring at the Eldar inside?
I think
A
everyone
little
would...
bit, mostly because there's a commotion, and it's just like there's a commotion in both areas, and it seems to be that like something's happened outside. The people in the tavern know that something's happened outside, but you're currently as interesting as whatever is happening outside at the same time. So all eyes are on the Eldar inside, whereas outside all eyes are on the Fire Warrior.
So we haven't been in this planet very long, but we've already got the whole
Bar.
God, we're gonna get arrested.
all the whole civilization's
Bar and area.
attention.
Yeah.
Let's kill him.
God.
You're currently, in terms of numbers, the number of people inside the bar it's a fairly packed bar. You're looking at probably patrons of about 25. Outside, you're looking more towards 50 to 60 people that have now gathered around.
Crap, I'm trying to decide what to do.
So anyone may attempt to do anything, it all depends, but the clock is ticking. From what you have observed, Duralius, the servo skulls, like there is a blinking red light on the servo skulls, so it does look as though something is taking image of the situation.
Faction.
Is there any chance I can kind of slip out the front and try and slip behind everyone so I don't get in trouble.
You mean join the mob?
Yeah, pretty much. Get behind the mob, burn them, open fire.
Guy, we should kick his ass. Yeah, we should kick his ass.
I agree.
Okay, so faction, if you want to roll initiative, you're basically saying I want to initiate combat.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm just
I see-
asking.
I want to conceal. I want to sneak
Just asking.
away from this bad thing that's happening.
I'm going to let you know that if you attempt to conceal, basically you're trying to sneak away from where everyone is currently looking through another area where everyone is currently looking to try and join a mob where you
Out the window.
in a mob.
Jump out the window.
See, faction, you
win-
should have in a stealth suit.
I would have if I could
The
have.
window is too narrow and too small. It's basically a porthole. I mean, you may attempt to conceal, but the simple fact is it's going to be nigh on impossible.
Can I make my way outside to see what the commotion is?
You're going to have to walk past the Eldar.
Are the Eldar planning on killing me?
Depends
You'll
on
have
how
to
you
find out.
God damn
Well-
it, Freed.
Well, we almost started a fight, and some giant guy in massive armor is getting up and walking towards us. So
I get up
um,
and make my way to the entrance. Slowly.
Just on
Like-
the note, Faction and Ruben, you both have the ability to speak Gothic for the simple fact of this campaign. So it's just you get that for free. So you speak Tau and Low Gothic.
Oh,
So yeah,
I'll add that
it's
to my language.
so Mr. Who was trying to walk past the Eldar? Who was trying to walk outside?
I'm walking outside to see what's going on. Why the orc was swearing at someone outside.
I don't know. Currently, you have to walk past a fairly large Eldar with another one, and they both are they both are carrying some serious heat. So, I suppose, how do you want to sort of squeeze past them in the fairly tight gap?
Push them.
I
Very
say
subtle.
and try to move forward.
Man, it's been about an hour and we've already got ourselves in a position where this campaign's pretty much already over.
Yeah, so I say excuse me and try to move my way forward. How did the Eldar react to that?
oh, whatever, I'll let him through. I'll
I
go
poke
and
him in the
move to the
chest. I poke him in the chest and demand to know where we are.
I'll look at this Eldar and say, "You're at the choke and puke. Can't you tell?"
I look at him with a hard stare and ask him, "Is he an idiot?"
Again, I must reiterate, you're looking at him with a hard stare through your helmet.
To be fair, they're pretty scary helmets.
The glistening in the red eyes.
Yeah.
Something that might actually help us move on. When we were coming through, we saw those guards at the gate, and then just kind of the general look of the place. Is this kind of a fairly martial law sort of place, or is it kind of governs itself, or what's the story? Are the guards assholes, basically? Have I been able to glean any information of that kind from walking through?
I believe there is such a thing called a logic test. Let me just double check, but something just basically to...
Reason your way out.
There is logic. Yeah, do a logic
Yes.
test.
Okay. Alright then.
22 success, right? Nice.
Yeah, just in terms
That'll
of
work.
the demeanor and the equipment of the guards at the gate, and just from what you observed in terms of when you were walking through the streets, basically, it seemed as though, yes, there's a military presence, and people protect and serve and all that sort of thing. There is simply the fact that it's kind of anything goes, basically, as long as you don't try and kill someone.
In which case, the guards are kind of gonna go do shit.
Yeah, well, it's that's your impression. You don't really know how human
Actually,
society really handles things, except for with
I'm just-
overwhelming force.
I'm just going to throw this out there and see if I can. If number one, if I'm reading this right. Number two, if this shit will even work. But what I'd like to try is a generalized thought sending to the crowd, like anyone near me, excluding the other Eldar.
So this is a psychic power, yes.
Basic psychic power from telepathy.
Did Tau get affected?
I don't know.
So the psychic can send his thoughts into the minds of those around him. He can select a specific group of individuals or minds.
And based on my psi rating, it can either be like verbal communication or a basic image so far. If I'm reading this right.
So you're going to be able to do it. It's just that you're attempting to. The crowd is kind of filled with so many different races of people. So there's humans, there's orcs, there's Kroot. There are these two other creatures who you don't know which, out of game wise, are the Tau.
Yep.
You're going to be suffering penalties to attempt to do this. The other fact is, though, you are an Eldar, so you can basically say, you basically halve your thing, and you can basically do it anyway.
Well, yeah. What I was in that case, what I wanted to say is, if I can't do a psychic bluff, basically just try to get everyone. I don't know. It's not really a suggestion, is it? It's just a flat-out communication. Just have it pop up in everyone's head to tell them that something along the lines of, "There's a whole contingent of guards coming this way."
You may attempt to do that. I'm going to need. Basically, the test will work, but I will need a focus power test from you anyway to sort of ensure that your message comes across correctly.
So would that just be a flat telepathy roll?
So your telepathy roll will be your wisdom plus your. Considering you've gone fettered, you have to halve your psi rating, rounding down. So it's going to be.
Wasn't rounding up? I could be wrong. I thought it was rounding up.
Let me double check what.
If I'm remembering correctly, that made me laugh because it means I lose 1 psi rating.
No, it's you're considered to. Hold on. Let me just double check.
If it's it's at 3 at the moment, so if it's rounded down, it's 1. If it's rounded up, it's 2.
Yeah, shit, it's rounded up. So yeah, it's currently 2.
Hooray!
So
Okay.
it's your willpower plus 10, and you must succeed on this to ensure that you're conveying the correct image.
Okie doke.
Hooray!
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
good.
Am I still making my way outside?
You
Yeah,
get stopped by an Eldar.
you're still you didn't really get stopped by anyone. Both, all 3 of the Eldar didn't really stop you. Hold on, just looking at that makes it seem as though. Willpower 48. Roll. Oh, you rolled a 17. Okay then, yeah. So yeah, even though you're trying to disperse it across a fairly large crowd in terms of both inside the tavern and outside on the street, you do sort of convey the message just like, it first starts off as a bit of a murmur at the crowd's edge, but then it slowly spreads. It's just like, oh shit, the cops are coming, come on, run.
While that's happening, I'd like to make my way to the Tau soldier, grab him, and whisper to him, saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yep. As the crowd sort of disperses, you two can sort of converse as much as you want, but I will need a perception check from Duralius.
Yes?
Sorry, awareness, I should say. I keep saying perception, it's awareness.
Okay. 1 second. And pop.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like you spot the crowd sort of like divert thing, and it looks like so like whatever danger you were in, you're currently in the clear. So what are the two Tower Fire Warriors saying to each other?
I grab Faction by his arm and say, "What the hell were you thinking?"
Are you
I
speaking in
just
Tower or
explained
Gothic?
myself.
Sorry, what? What did you say?
Are you speaking in Tower or Gothic, low Gothic?
Tau.
We can use the whisper function.
Ooh.
That was a
I'm
little
a
bit
huge
too.
supporter of I'm a huge supporter of keeping secrets within a party because it usually makes things far more interesting. Like if we had no idea that they were Tau up until we actually figured it out, I find that way more fun. But much harder to do, obviously.
Well, you sort of
Okay, so
can
am I,
just try
am I
to
doing
be
whispers, or are we just talking?
No. Speak it aloud, because obviously, if you just whisper it. Oh God.
Faction.
Yeah, so I stand by the question. What the hell were you thinking? And I try to pull, and I grab his arm and try to gently pull him away from the commotion, away from the puke and choke.
I'd like to dodge his attempt to grab me by the arm.
Oh my god! I'm gonna get my pistol.
You may attempt to dodge.
He has to take a test too then, doesn't he, right?
He needs to do a weapon skill test.
Is it weapon skill versus agility, isn't it? Or
It is. So,
Or
one of the
Baron's to dodge. You'd probably get
dodge
that as well.
test from the tower, weapon skill from the tower. I think we all know how tower work, how this is going to end.
Oh,
Both gonna fail.
oh
Yeah.
my god, he got exactly the number he needed.
Okay, so
0
Okay,
degrees
please
of
roll.
success.
my weapon
That's
skill is
exactly the number.
33, so I'm rolling.
I really want to see two Tau get into like a fist fight.
Ah,
what's your weapon skill?
33.
So like it's a very sort of he goes to grab you, but yeah, you go to grab him, but he sort of like slips out of your hands. And you can't get a grasp on his arm, and he I don't know what are you doing? Are you walking away? You're like sort of shouldering him off.
I'm just shouldering him off. Doesn't need to grab me. I'm listening.
You just
No
tried to plan a
explode Gothic
flashbang.
until now.
Human tavern.
I want to go to a table now that the area's more clear. Sit down.
The Eldar, what are you doing? Because you're currently still inside. The way that you angled your psychic power rise in terms of it dispersed the crowd, but the tavern staff, the people inside the tavern, they're just like, well, yeah, if the cops come here, then what are they going to find? A tavern.
Huh. Are there any free tables?
Yes, there is one. It will be able to seat 6 people.
What an interesting coincidence.
It's sort of like one of those circular, sort of semi-round table booth sort of things.
How many orcs are currently sitting at it?
There are no orcs that you can see.
That we can see.
Well, I say we should probably go and sit down and try to stop calling attention to ourselves for now. Just the Eldar. Let's keep this racist.
So the Eldar go to sit down at the table.
I have a feeling
Morales,
we
what are you doing?
still have no idea where we are. Maybe we should ask the barkeeper or something where we are.
Yeah, but doing that with like half the tavern staring at us is probably no fun.
Good point.
So while you Eldar are busy conversing about your next move, Duralius, what are you doing as you've just seen these two heavily armored people? They're conversing in some strange tongue that you don't understand, and it's going by at a blinding speed. You don't quite they're just speaking gibberish to you.
I simply smile and nod, making it seem like I don't know what they're saying.
Make your servo
So I
skull
whispered a
nod as
faction
well.
while
And my
looking
servo
at-
skull also nods along with me.
I
Oh,
whispered
this
a
is
faction
not
we should
gonna
just
end
smile and
well.
wave at this guy.
But then as soon as they show the slightest inkling that they're getting annoyed at me doing that, I head inside.
Where inside?
We show no inkling.
Yeah, that's actually. There's the issue of you're trying to perceive emotions on armor. So to you, it's just like, yeah, they're cool with this. I'm a bro.
I have a feeling when they slowly turn to him and just sort of stare at him.
What is
the
it?
face of the helmet stares at him.
I
Yeah.
turn to Tech and ask him if he's aware of any work in the city.
What, did you say that in common or Tau?
Low Gothic.
Oh, Gothic? Okay. Okay. Now, I'm simply a newcomer myself. Yes. I was trying to at least try to converse with some other people around here, but the first person I tried to be nice to just shows a grenade into me. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
I tell them it's considered rude in Tau to ask about their armor.
Oh, a Tau? My apologies for offending you.
That's you, faction. You can say something.
It's cool.
Yes, please excuse me. I will head inside. Yes, good day. I just walk past awkwardly. The servo skull following, obviously.
At this point, I'd like to make my way with faction to where the crew are hanging out and find out what he's doing on the planet.
I'll do that
Alright,
through
well-
whispers. I don't want them to know.
You'll jump across. Well, Duralis, you walked into the tavern. Awareness test.
Oh God, I got a pass.
We're never leaving this town, guys. Seriously. Freeze, just freaking rocket launch.
Oh my God, I actually
You're
succeeded
good.
once.
You're good.
Hooray!
Okay, so considering you never actually entered the tavern, you caught like when you were standing outside, you caught like a hint of someone's sort of like very colourful looking armor or something. But now that you're inside, you sort of glance around, and the orcs the orcs that were in the corner, being a little brawling and a little bit mucking around, they've calmed down a little bit since the spectacle of the Eldar showed up. And you sort of, you do spot the fancifully coloured armour off in the right-hand corner, where three of them have gathered around the table. But in terms of that, there is, aside from those two camps, everyone else is kind of average. It's mostly humans of various sorts. You're not drawing a huge amount of attention, even though you're a Mechanicus, simply because yes, you got cybernetics and you've got a servo skull, but then again, could be a defective servo skull who could just be following you around.
Righto. Yeah, I just head in, just sit down and just monitor my surroundings. Not really sitting with anyone, just really on my own so far.
So you go to sit down at one of the stools at the bar itself, and yeah, you're kind of just there, sort of anxiously, or just sitting there pondering. I don't know, perhaps tapping a finger on the counter or something. You're just sitting there. The barkeep kind of comes up towards you, just like, "You're a Mechanicus, eh?"
Yes, you've heard of us, I see.
I didn't know Mechanicus drunk.
We always like to be the ones to surprise others rather than the ones being surprised.
No, unless you've got thrones, you're not going to be getting anything. So lay 'em out.
I actually checked my pockets and I realized that I think I left any that I had back on the ship when they threw me out. So it basically just went, oh, my apologies. I appear to have that they didn't. My last crew didn't give me my throne gelters before they released me from the service. Blast it!
He just rolls your eyes at you and he's like, oh yeah, come back when you get some money then. I suppose we shall move outside to the tower. Who are you guys currently conversing with each other, or are you just having a bit of a discussion with the crew?
We're conversing with each other. Yeah.
Could I please get an awareness test from both of you?
If you must.
How many times can we fail? Oh God, 78.
That's a fail.
Wow. Well,
Right.
at least someone succeeded.
Yeah, Mitsu's fine.
So Ruben, you're too busy engaged in conversation with your loyalist friend, which is quite unusual in and of itself. Mitsu, you sort of look around and sort of you glance up over Ruben's shoulder, and you spot your best description of it would be a platoon marching down the street towards you.
A human platoon?
A human platoon.
Interesting. I'll let Ruben know, Oi, look over your shoulder, there's possible danger approaching.
That is
I'll look
right,
over-
Rise. Precognition.
Maybe we
how
should
many-
yell out the fuzz and run.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get very far in a human city dressed as Tao.
We'll dig our way out.
How many crew are around us?
Hmm.
About 4 Kroot, but like they're observing you, but they're kind of keeping to themselves. They haven't really gone up to engage you, and you haven't really gone up to speak to them directly.
Yeah, I know, faction. I tell faction we should try and make our way away from the platoon and avoid
Yeah.
being noticed.
They're about 80 meters away from you.
How many?
80 meters.
We duck down an alleyway.
Concealment
Oh.
test.
Oh, fuck.
This is not gonna go well.
Alright.
Wow.
Hooray! Rolled a
That's-
1! Critical fail,
rolled a
but
1.
success.
So red is success. Gotta remember
Yeah,
that.
because he rolled a 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Doesn't that mean your agility goes up by 1?
That's correct. The
What?
relevant statistics are the characteristic that you're rolling against. If you roll a natural
Wow.
1, you add +1 to that characteristic permanently.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
that's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Considering it's a 1 in 100 chance of rolling a natural 1.
Yeah.
Alright, I've
Pretty
got
neat,
42 agility and I'm rolling. Seriously?
71.
So while Mitsu is a shadow of, basically a shadow within a shadow, and as he sort of sneaks away down an alley, you're kind of a little bit less stealthy to the point of I'm a big guy in red and white armor walking down an alley.
Maroon, okay.
Maroon, okay. Basically, what happens is even though Mitsu was so utterly silent and quick in terms of his movement, as Ruben, as you move into the alley after him, basically you start hearing an alarm, and you look up, and one of the server skulls is flashing. There's lights coming out of it. It's bright red. There's alarms going off. It's, and it starts drawing more server skulls towards you, and you start hearing.
I drop a photon grenade and I drop a photon grenade and try to make my way out of the alley, like further in, or find another way out.
So, are you throwing a photon grenade?
Yes, I throw the photon grenade and then try to make my way out of the alley, but not towards the guards, away from the guards.
Yep. So, photon grenades, photon flash. Those caught are left temporarily blinded or defenseless. However, I just need to see if I can find some stats on. I actually know server skulls actually are equipped with not quite black light visors as the tower, but they basically have a combination of a standard sort of current age stealth suit, stealth eye goggles and things like that. So they've got night vision, they have infrared. So even a photon flash grenade might overload their ordinary vision sensors. It won't overload their other sensors, which they will revert to and continue pursuing you, whining all the time.
What the hell?
What have you done? Oh god.
So it would take some time for them to swap from normal to the other sensors, wouldn't it?
You're gonna buy yourself about 1 round of movement, which is the equivalent of 5 seconds.
I'll take it. I'll use that to have another concealment check.
Okay then.
God, if I get another freaking 71, I'm gonna kill someone. Thank God.
36.
So you've sort of ducked down an alley after Mitsu as you're running, as sort of like sneaking away as quietly as you can down an alley, and you seem to have temporarily lost the sensors. Are you guys still moving away? Or are you trying to find like a place to stop and sort of hide?
Is the alley sort of
Does it open up into another street, other alleyways?
As you continue approaching, you start getting hit with like so many different options of side passages. There's one going straight, there's one going left, there's one going right, there's one going diagonal, there's one going the other diagonal. It's a
Can I do an awareness check to see where the most commotion, as in where the largest crowds are? Like,
you may. It'd be tricky.
I'll take my chances. I just want you to know, faction, if I fail this, just run. Leave me behind.
For the greater good.
Alright.
He doesn't believe in the greater good.
Oh, cool. I have 44 perception.
So, what's your perception?
44. So that's about 2 degrees.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the fact is the majority of the commotion that you would normally hear is actually coming from behind you as the jackboots start reaching the end of the actual sort of alleyway itself, and you can't really, the sound sort of reverberating out, rebounding off the various rockcrete and adamantium structures, as the sound's just reverberating around, and you can't sort of pinpoint another main thoroughfare or something like that.
What do you reckon, faction?
I think that Pop Tart wants us to fight at some point.
In the middle of a human city. We're not going very far if there's service belts involved.
2 versus how many?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, we're Tau. Fine. Imperial Guardsmen just have las guns.
I knew I should have followed Tech back into the pub.
Hey, you took me aside to the Kroot.
I assume
just trying to
have no idea about this.
No, the people inside the bar hear like the jackboots going on down the street, and it's just like, oh yeah, what's that? But no one's really too keen to sort of get out and actually sort of stick their head outside, they hear it and just like, oh, okay. There was something going on down there. Clearly,
We
the
said,
law
let's go.
enforcers are
Let's
now
take the
involved.
alleyway or the path to the left.
Yep. Sounds good. We
So you
stealthily.
But as we take this path, we keep our eyes open for any place we can duck into.
navigate surface.
Oh, what the fuck? Do I even have that? Where is that?
What,
It is an advanced skill, so if you don't have it trained, you're going to be rolling out a penalty.
Yeah, I don't.
a penalty on perception,
Uh,
intelligence.
It's intelligence. It's a navigation
Alright.
test. Okay. Yeah, I don't have it. So what should I roll? Like, is it just a D100?
It's a D100, and you're trying to beat half of your intelligence score.
Okay, so I need to get under 16. Fuck.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Should I even roll?
Oh dear God.
96.
Ruben may
Ruben.
be able to save the day. It's a good
No, that's
roll,
a-
but not enough.
No, not without being trained in it.
Holy shit.
Start getting sort of twisted around, and sort of the alleyways are just like, come on, go this way, go this way, go this way. And after about several turns, you actually come up against a dead end, and there's a dead end with sort of there's no like back access panels into buildings or workshops or anything like that. There's no sort of under access hatches leading down below into sort of the sewerage systems or anything like that. You come to a quite literal dead end with no way out aside from the way you just came in. And you hear as you sort of going, you hear the jack boots just reverberating all around you, and it feels as though like they're just around the corner, but you simply cannot tell exactly where they are. They could be nearby. They could be like a couple of buildings over in one of the other alleyways.
What do you reckon, faction?
It's a dead end, eh? Hmm.
But we don't know where they are. They could be
Yeah.
just around the corner, or they could be a couple of alleyways away.
Yeah.
But they're still on our tail, Blake?
Yep.
Is there any
Well-
cover around?
We haven't really. What did he say earlier? As long as we don't kill anybody, they don't really care. We could
Turn ourselves
always
in.
just. Yeah. I didn't speak that language at the time, so I didn't know their customs. Whether pulling a grenade out was wrong.
Are you going to pull the Mina speak English line?
Exactly.
Performing
Alright,
routine
because,
grenade maintenance.
Yes.
Alright, so do you want to wait for them to get to us?
Or we could
We could keep
approach a
moving.
bit. Yeah.
So
Or
we
at
wait
least-
for the alleyways? Or do you want to approach them?
How about we just get to a better position in the event that we decide to run again and not run down that dead end again?
Okay, let's re-navigate into the alleyways.
This is just to the point where we're not going to, like, walk into that dead end again. And we have options.
Okay, so let's go back in the alleyways. And hope for the best.
Dodge test.
Oh, for crying out
Oh,
loud.
God.
Of course.
Oh, man, that's bad.
We're both dead.
Hope you guys are backup characters.
78 and 72. Ouch.
You know, in a normal game, this would have been good.
So, I must ask, how much? What is your combined armor value and toughness value?
My toughness is 38. And armor is the armor points based off each piece of armor.
Yep.
Each of my pieces is 6.
So, I presume you're the same faction. Yep. So you each got damage reduction 9. So, considering the fact that you basically, as you exited the alleyway, you basically stepped out as a part of the platoon basically round the corner. There was about 6 guys, and they all just turned and sort of snapshotted at you. They each hit you 3 times.
Oh, what?
No, they
Reaction
simply
to,
rolled good. They rolled well enough, and you guys rolled poorly enough on your dodges.
So, how does that translate into damage? I don't understand.
Yep. I'm doing that now, so altogether, first shot, actually, funnily enough, all three shots from each of them, they barely make a scratch against you, Ruben.
I can live with that.
And barely, they actually, they tink and, like basically do barely any damage against you. They do actually no damage against you at all. Mitsu is completely negated by your armor and your combined toughness.
Just man-moded through the whole thing.
Cool.
So they basically just snapshotted around the corner at you and it's just like, oh shit!
Okay.
And they're yelling at you, it's just like, drop your weapons, get down to the ground, drop your weapons!
I yell
And
back
it's just
saying,
like-
why are you shooting at us?
You've got explosive devices, drop your weapons, get on the ground!
We have no explosives.
Non-lethal. Yeah, we have non-lethal grenades.
We have no explosives. You're letting orcs walk around and you think we have explosives?
Fucking Xenos, get on the
Self-defense.
ground!
What do you reckon?
Show him how the
How
grenade
many of these
works.
people are there?
There were
6.
6, but their shouting is sort of drawing attention. You can see one of the servo skulls sort of fly up behind them and starts capturing you, like getting an image on you guys again.
I get the impression if it was all of us involved, you guys would have a breezy time.
Probably.
Well, you guys could have gone to investigate what the jackbooted thugs are doing.
Hey
Jenna.
man, I'm not psychic. Oh wait.
Actually, well, I don't know. Did we hear the gunfire, or are they too far away?
You may do an awareness check to see if you hear the las gunfire.
Come
Might
on,
as
guys.
well.
Come on.
Might as well.
Alright, what do you want to do, Faction? Oh,
We
I
don't
know what I want to do.
We do not hear shit.
God.
To be fair, guys, that's a fairly loud tavern.
No.
Everyone.
Yeah, we did do it. It's a pretty rowdy tavern. I mean, it's not every tavern you go to where Gretchens get thrown around like pillows and things like that, and also used as bludgeoning weapons. So yeah, I guess we can't hear it. Can't hear the shots outside, or they're just
What?
too far away. Exactly.
I raise my hands and I whisper to Faction in Tau, throw a photon grenade.
Oh god.
This is
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
it's like the Benny Hill show.
Okay.
Yeah, I never tried.
Always
Always-
bang.
Wait, do you want to try it? Like, this is just me communicating the idea.
See, I'm gonna get blamed if this doesn't work.
Look, I reckon if we let them arrest us, they're going to take our weapons. We're
Yep.
probably going to be worse off than we are right now.
Yes,
So-
or we could fight to the death.
Or we could try and make a loud enough commotion for these idiot Eldar to notice us.
Sure.
You could also try to stun them and piss bolt and hide in the tavern if there's so much shit going on there.
I suppose the question is, are you really willing to trust your lives to people that you barely even spoke to?
I'm willing to
Yeah, you
counter
don't
the
even
fact
know
that
us
the
that well.
humans are racist, and they're not going to be able to differentiate between us and the Eldar.
It's true.
Oh, shit. It's a good assumption.
Okay.
Yeah, alright. I'll toss a
Unfortunately, you're
toss one.
This is getting worse by the second.
You're going to be broken from this, so you're going to be entering combat against these guys.
Oh no.
Now, just a question. And we are approaching 10 o'clock, which is the general wrap-up time, and I envision this combat potentially lasting a while. So, did you want to call it there for the night? Did you want to keep going just to see where the
What are you
fight
actually?
goes?
What are you planning to do? Are you going to try to get to the tavern, or are you going to try to run somewhere else?
Well, I was thinking we'd lay down cover fire, keep falling back till we reach the tavern.
Yeah, we both have supporting fire and
Yeah.
rapid reload and stuff.
Well, I reckon we should see if they're going to make it to us, or if they're going to get bogged down and we have to try to figure our own shit out.
Again, we don't know what's happening, so we're just in there, just whistling to ourselves.
Yeah, the next thing is if we notice, if they don't make it to us and we notice, we have to figure out a reason to go and help.
That's so.
Well, how about Rise? You start scanning the general area with your psychic weirdness.
I'm going to cast weirdness. Oh, that's probably a thing somewhere.
Okay, how about we at least roll initiative to see if you guys beat these PDF forces.
Roll initiative. God.
I don't think I have initiative on my thing.
It's you roll a d10 and add your agility bonus.
Roll
Bonus
D10.
is whatever the tens digit is, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Roll D10 plus 4, because I got 42 agility.
Oh,
1. It's alright.
So, the guardsmen, they see you try and do something. It's just like, oh shit, he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. Do you really want to cop 4 guys shooting before you?
Ooh. Your call, man.
You have this last option of surrendering, otherwise they're going to open fire with everything they have.
Well, if we surrender, we're still going to be a lot worse off than we would be.
Yep. That's true.
That's the rationality I'm taking here. There's 6 of them.
So,
they've got
okay,
the-
so my hand, when I was going for my grenade, I'll just grab my gun and drop it on the floor. My pulse
Yes.
rifle.
Pulse pistol, not your rifle.
We're gonna have to drop everything. I'm pretty sure the pulse rifle is gonna stand out a lot more than pistol.
But while you're dropping the pulse pistol, you could make a concealment check for your grenade.
My concealment is, yeah,
Pretty bad.
it's not worth attempting.
Right, so surrender?
Yeah, surrender.
Alright, surrender.
Told us to drop our weapons. Let's just do that. Since it's just you and me, buddy.
You could have had a very
so
interesting twist.
They've got your guns trained on you as you sort of drop your weapons, and they get you to kneel as they sort of clamp rather simple manacles on you. They're not exactly anything technologically sophisticated, but basically you guys are now sort of bound by your hands, and they're sort of shoving you forward with their las guns as they sort of carefully carry your plasma weaponry away from you. They do strip you of your other guns and your grenades as well as sort of like keeping anything dangerous away from you. And they're going to lead you back to the main thoroughfare, which is back past the choke and puke, and I believe that is where we'll leave it, with you guys walking just past the choke and puke, where everyone on the tap will see you guys in shame.
Oh, jeez.
We should have gone into combat, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we should have. You can't say that and say, "Oh, it's on you." You should have done the other thing.
No, well, because if you're up the low initiative roll, we would have gotten screwed over if you went down first, and I would have just gone down shortly after. And
Yeah.
next time I come across humans, I'm shooting them in the face.
Yep. I'm gonna do what I can to gain hatred humans.
Okay then, so I'm gonna call it there for tonight. Fucking hell, what a clusterfuck.
Well, no, we made it the most Thanos-friendly party ever. You really thought it was going to go down smoothly?
I was so
I just-
chuffed that I thought I managed to fix the problem through sheer bullshit, and then everything went to hell again.
To be fair,
It all started because Tech wanted to find out what the fucking armor was.
I didn't know he was a Tau. Therefore, I asked. It was like very impressive armor he had.
So it all comes back to humans, is what you're trying to say.
it's
Oh.
all humans.
It's just, we knew that if we had one human on the team, it would just throw everything out of whack.
So
I think
in
as far as first sessions go, that was pretty great, though.
for a first session, that was I'll call it memorable. Now, in terms of experience, the base for each session is for every session you get 200 experience.
Cool.
At base. So if you're ever absent from a session, you're only going to be able to get half of that amount. So for instance, if you're not here, you only get 100 of that 200, and you miss out on role playing.
Okay, 200.
And just for general, like good role playing and things like that, everyone gets a bonus 50 with a pity 50 for Ruben and faction.
Oh, what?
Hooray.
How did we not roleplay? We totally played like...
Yeah.
No, a
Hard.
bonus 50 on top of that, on top of the 50 I gave for everyone.
Oh, cool. Because of all the trouble we caused. Yay.
It's a pity 50.
I'm gonna see if I can, like... I'm gonna go upgrade intelligence so I can break out of these manacles.
You what?
Strength.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in terms of the experience that you've gotten, you may spend that in between sessions on anything that you want as per the table for your class. So any of the tier 1 or characteristic advances you may purchase if you have the experience for.
Crap, I think I
Alternatively,
need another 50.
alternatively, you can pool that experience and save it all for later. So there's no issue in terms of stacking up and then blowing it all for a bunch of things that you really want.
Yeah.
When do we actually hit rank 2?
Is it advisable to invest first tier stuff in increasing characteristics? Because they seem to come into play quite a lot for
Well, it's
all our
the
roles.
simple thing. The simple thing is, for combat, there are a bunch of situations you can put yourself in to give yourself pretty sizable bonuses. Otherwise, for skills, for instance, if you get training in a skill, means you're no longer trying to attempt a skill at half, which for most people is like, that's a penalty of 20 or more generally, or 15 or more. Whereas if you just increase your characteristic score, you're only increasing your score by 5 each time you put the experience into that. So generally, investing in a skill is better for that skill only, but if you want to be generally better at a whole bunch of things, it's generally you generally put your points into characteristic scores.
Faction, I reckon we should spend our experience in a complementary style.
I think we should.
You know, where if you
You and
cover...
me, buddies, yeah.
Yeah. Given that we've just gotten arrested, fuck.
It's okay. We fine.
I just
So,
want you guys to know, I called this, I said Faction was gonna get killed or arrested.
So, just out of curiosity, Pop Dot, how many of your RPGs have had people getting in gunfights with the planet guards and getting arrested?
In the first session, I might.
Yeah, in the
That
first
always
session.
happened when I was GMing.
I had an entire party getting slaved in the first session.
Oh, shit.
Hey guys, let's do that.
Yeah, no. So, Eldar, you know all those jokes I made about you and Tay? It's just jokes. You guys can totally come say this now.
Well, I don't want to give anything away, but if you made it back to where we were, I can give you fair certainty that you would have been fine. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's something to aim for.
But you know, we just kind of gave ourselves up. No fight or nothing. and the GM was being quite intimidating, saying this could go on for a while. Probably means it's going to drag it
Well-
out death, make an example of us.
I guess it depends on where you end up when they walk you back out.
Yeah. Just if you guys do get to save us, just make sure you grab my pulse rifle. They can keep everything else.
Me too.
In any case, that will have to be a question that is answered next time in 2 weeks. So that will be the 5th of August.
Cool.
And yeah,
I don't get why everyone's trying to call attention on themselves.
Yeah, I don't either. It was a little random, I think, what happened there, but
in terms of everything, make sure that if you're spending experience, just update your character sheet or let me know so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. So you guys don't pull out something and be like, hey, I know this that I invested in like 5 sessions ago.
I'll have to look into the skills before I pick one.
What does training in skills do?
Check the first box.
Only for
What does it
basic
increase?
skills, though.
What increases it by how much?
It removes the half penalty to it.
No. In characteristics, you can be simple, intermediate, trained, or expert.
Oh, that's
Oh,
every
you're talking about
level-
stat advances.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
level of a stat advance, so you have to purchase them in order. So starting from simple, then going all the way up. Yeah. So every stat you purchase, you get a +5 to that stat
But
permanently.
it gets increasingly more
plus five.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In terms of yeah. So if you purchase training in a skill, for instance, if you're purchasing training in an advanced skill, that means you can then take skill tests using that skill, whereas before you would not be able to. The only skills that you can use untrained are basic skills, and even then,
It's
you
half penalty, isn't it?
would be at half. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, we should take complementary skills where, like, if you cover one, I can cover the other that we might need
Yeah.
down the line. Like, you know, maybe stuff like bartering. One of us goes into it, while the other one maybe goes into logic or something. I don't know. Just things we could use to get out of shitty situations like this one.
Well, you do realise that not pulling out a grenade in broad daylight in the middle of a busy street would have got you out of that situation.
Hey, I was trying to help Faction, okay? I just got dragged along for the ride for no reason.
For the greater good.
He was provoked. We should totally
Stand
point
by that I
towards
didn't
Tech
pick
Knights
Gothic,
saying,
so I was role-playing my character.
Yeah. So I do apologise, faction, for the misconception in terms of the inability to speak Low Gothic. That was an oversight. I didn't actually realise that Tower didn't get Low Gothic to start with.
No, we only get Tau. Basically, I think they were meant to only handle games without Tau.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive minuses to tests.
Mm.
I think there was some pretty good role playing around in that session, which is one of the reasons we got such an interesting result.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did do a few random things, yes.
Oh, funny thing is, I've just done my leveling, and I now have an ability that would have been really great for all the shit that's already happened.
What's it
That's how it
called?
always goes.
Sensory deprivation.
That sounds absolutely terrifying. What does that do?
Exactly as it sounds. It's just like, hey you, what? You can't see, you can't hear, you can't taste, you can't smell. See you later.
Yeah. So that they would have been basically.
Oh, and apparently you can run it effectively in reverse, so it's like a crude version of invisibility.
Equal to your willpower bonus. So against a crowded room, you're going to be kind of tricky.
Oh yeah, it would be really, really hard, but compared to noisy people off in the distance and so on.
Yes. Well.
I'll
Now
find
you know
an
what
excuse.
happens when. Now you know what happens when you be a little bit disruptive in a.
Trying to be disruptive. What the hell?
I just I did find it hilarious how Rise, you were just like, I want them all to make it seem as though the cops are coming. I'm just like, well, that's convenient.
So that's something I was going to ask. Were you actually planning on having them turn up? Or am I not allowed to know?
Well,
No,
didn't he say there were a bunch of servo skulls there already?
Yeah,
I
I know, watching.
hinted at it before, but basically,
Yeah.
it's the way I sort of game master in terms of I find that it might just be my style, it might be the people I get to play my games, but I can't. 9 times out of 10, I simply cannot predict anyone in terms of what they will do. So I'm not gonna railroad you guys too much, except when things are potentially going to turn out badly, like that.
Well, I think it's kind of brilliant that the idea is I'd love to become a farseer in this and actually have like future sight, and I accidentally already did.
You know, I think I might try and put experience into speak language Kroot.
That might be an idea.
Why not?
That might be an idea.
Hirelings.
Not hirelings,
Yeah.
just kind of convince them to help us when they drag us back in chains.
I will pay you in greater good tokens. It's for the greater good.
Take Kroot and Charm the Kroot. Hey, baby, you want to help us?
I think we're better off taking command and Kroot, given that the Kroot in hierarchy for Tau are usually under the Tau.
Hey, sexy beak face, want to kill all humans?
They have to be under your authority, though. Kroot are just wholesale mercenaries. Like, there are Kroot auxiliaries in the Tau. It's not like as
I
a
thought
race.
as a race they were effectively like taken under the Tau.
They were
to-
brought in under the Tau. But, yeah, they're freelancers, mercenaries and stuff. They fight because they eat enemies to get their DNA to strengthen
To
themselves.
evolve.
That's pretty much all they, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I remember reading about the Tau, as the Tau expanded, one of the first races to join them and augment their armies in terms of just sheer numbers and cannon fodder were the Kroot army, like the Kroot.
They're like that
Yeah.
as much as the human auxiliaries. Like, it's not the entire race is under
most
them.
race.
Yeah.
Similar with Ogrons and Ratlings, there are simply the fact is the Tau aren't particularly they're not saying join us or die. It doesn't prevent them sort of going out being renegades.
More convince them to join them, kind of a thing with the Tau.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Anyway, I'll call that for tonight. So thank you all for playing. I hope you all enjoyed
Thanks,
it.
guys. Thanks for running it,
Yep.
Blake.
All good.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun, and more shenanigans will follow, I'm sure.
Yep. So
Yeah,
2 weeks
next
time.
session for the Eldar.
Yeah, 2 weeks time, same time, same day. So I'll see you all then.
Yep.
Alrighty. Catch you later.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys.
Alright.
Yeah.